Hello SSL, this is Matt bringing you a demonstration video of the code for this week's project. For starters, I'm going to just show you a quick glance of my flowchart here. This is how, in my mind, I thought it would go. We're going to start here at the index HTML, and it's going to be pretty simple. You're going to basically get some input from the users. You're going to send that input over to new user PHP, which is this. And that's where the rest of the magic is going to take place. So from there we have two functions here. One of these is user array, which is right here. It's designed to grab the information that was input by the user and then store it into an array, which can later be used for displaying. Then you have the avatar function I created, which is going to store that image into a subdirectory more permanently. After that you have this for loop here, which is just displaying every item in the array. And then finally, once that's all done and there's no more items to show, you're going to go ahead and show that avatar. So let me show you how that looks in the code. Pretty basic stuff here. It's just a title for create your user and then just a big form. And the important part about this is that the action is sending it to new user PHP. That way that data can be used over there. You have this ink type here, which is important for us to be able to use this data. And then post. This is also very important. This is the method which we're using to transfer the data there. So anyway, you have first name, last name, username, password, and the user will just enter those in. That's about it for this. It's going to send it on over here, and we can scroll on up to the top. So we just have the regular HTML at the top, and then for our PHP here, we're going to make sure to check that the username and password are not empty. And as long as both of those are not empty, we're going to run this line of code here, which is assigning all these values to these variables. And then the one that has a little bit of extra work here is this salt on your hash. So the MD5 here is going to hash this password, but by adding the salt, that's going to keep that encryption a lot safer, as we learned. So anyway, I'm going to assign all those things right here in order into an array. I'm going to name it R, although that's local, so it's not really going to matter. We're going to return that out. And if I scroll down ahead just to show you when that function's actually being called, I'm assigning it right here to a same named thing so that we can use it. But I'll get to there in just a second. So if these were empty, then you're going to get an error, input missing. Please try again, and it's going to send you a link back to the form so you can re-enter that information. So that is the first function that creates the user array and returns it out so it can be displayed later. Other than that, we have one here for the avatar. It's pretty similar. It's just saying if there is a value set on the submit, then we're going to go ahead and run all this code, and this code here is basically just a way of creating some shorthand so that we can store the file dynamically as a permanent stored file. And again, if it's good, it's going to say file is valid for the message, and if it's not good, which is else here, it's going to say avatar file was not valid. And that is the message that will show up. Then it makes sure to see that there's a message, and it's going to display those things, and it's going to return image here is a string with the message and the location of the dynamic location of the file. So that's what's going to be returned out. And much like I showed you before, when I'm actually calling it, I'm storing it into a variable here so that we can just echo that variable. So for the array here, we're storing that array into this variable. There's just a little header there for user info, and then we're just going to go through each item of the array and echo it out with a break. And the image is as simple as just echoing it out. So that is pretty much all there is to it. Yep, hope you enjoyed this video and that it was helpful. Thank you very much.